4 seasons lost. In Austin, I saw, pause. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors a pit, quit, running from ear to ear. Craving and raping the grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and it is Thursday, the 13th of March. And sorry I was on a little bit late today, but I had listened to this one guy talk about sports, talk about basketball. And, when people are knowledgeable about a specific sport, and it's not the sport that you are knowledgeable about, it's completely different. Because when they say stuff and you're on a national platform and you say stuff, it's like, what the hell are you talking about? People are crying about SGA's fouls and that he was like James Harden. No, he and James Harden are nothing alike. James Harden is a way better three-point shooter than he is. James Harden is a natural scorer. SGA is a better player, but James Harden is a better scorer. He can shoot more threes. His three-point game he's more of a shooter than a scorer. And SGA is more of a scorer than a shooter. And the other difference is that SGA in the playoffs, 100%, we talked about this the other night on After the Storm. We're saying, hey, we like the Thunder because we're more physical of a team. Well, in the playoffs, you're not going to get the calls that you normally get during the season. It's way more physical, which is great for us because we're more of a physical defensive team. So it's okay with that. And then also, SGA's free throws go down. The amount of free throws that he scores or shoots goes down, but his average stays the same at 30. Why? Because he understands the difference between what a foul is and what a foul isn't. And I was listening to a guy who goes, well, I just don't like it because he's getting a foul when he can't. Really? So let me say, if you're a good basketball player, and you see a guy's out of position, and you can go ahead and get a quick foul, give your team some rest because the way you are defensively, you need rest because defense takes a lot out of you physically and mentally, but really physically. So why wouldn't you, if you're a two-way player, if you see a guy out of position, create a foul, go to the free throw line, get some rest, number one. Number two, you're shooting the ball, it gives you rhythm as far as your shot. What the hell are y'all talking about? Oh, that's because you don't understand the game and understand those are the two reasons why he did what he does. Gives his team rest, gives him some rest because he's a two-way player, and he gets him a rhythm of going to the free throw line. I tell my kids all the time in my academy, if your jump shot's off, get to the free throw line, attack the basket, get fouled, go to the free throw line, get you some rhythm. But once again, these are people who don't understand the damn game, and they're just running their mouth, and it drives me insane. Shut the F up if you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Give your overall analysis because you can do that. But don't try to give some insight when you're an idiot and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like this particular person said something, Richard Jefferson said, boom, 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 class dismissed. Like, shut up, dude. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. But when you have a national platform and you can say stuff and you have people listening to you, you can say whatever, which is what drives me nuts about the Thunder. Quit calling it a push shot. It's a floater. And by the way, it's not a hook shot, it's a jump hook. A hook shot is this. A jump hook, you jump and you do that. It's a jump hook. But once again, you have announcers and people who don't understand the game. So if you have a color commentary person who's supposed to explain to you what you just saw, but yet they don't know what the hell they saw, so they can't explain to you what you just saw. It's a hook shot. No, there's only one guy who had a hook shot. That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. or Lou Alcindor before that. Everybody else has jump hooks. It's a completely different shot. And all I'm saying is if you're going to be an announcer and you're going to make millions of dollars, and if you're going to be a producer putting these dudes on, make sure they understand or go take a class on what a shot is and what isn't a shot so they can at least be knowledgeable about what the hell it is, because those of us who understand the game drives us nuts. What the hell are you talking about? Which is why more and more athletes are doing podcasts, because it drove us nuts listening to people who are out there trying to say stuff. It's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Drives us nuts. And that's why the commander and I, at the Thunder games, we sit there and we can look at each other and know exactly what the other's thinking, because we're on the same page with stuff. Or he'll give me a nugget on something. Like the other night, we were at I forget what game it was, and he made a comment. I just looked at him like, wow, okay. And I had to go back, and then I replaying what I just saw in my head. I'm like, oh, that's what because he sees. And I'm going to give y'all a little nugget about the commander. He was the player of the year, Oklahoma High School basketball player of the year before I was. And the thing about him is, the thing that I love playing with him, and like I love playing with Bill Self, they're very cerebral. When the way they see the game, the way they're point guards. As a point guard, you have to see the floor. And he's one of the best I've ever seen at being able to understand the game, seeing things before they happen, being instinctual, having a certain instinct, and being able to anticipate things based on what he's seeing. And so he'll see things that I don't see, and he'll say something to me, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's 100%, because he saw something I didn't, but I have to give him his flowers, because he won't do it himself. He won't give himself flowers. He won't. That's not who he is. But I'm giving them to him for him. So that's why I like going to games with him, because he'll give me a nugget or he'll say stuff, or a lot of times he and I'll be on the same page, or I'll be pissed off about something and I'll go blah, 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 blah. And he'll look at me like, no, Matt, da-da-da, calm me down. Or he'll say something, I'm like, no, bro, this is what happened, and calm him down. That's what happens when you understand the game. So when I see stuff like that on the show earlier, that's why I was so late coming on. It's like, what are you talking about? That kind of shit frustrates me. I'm sorry about my language, but it frustrates me. Because when I go back and I look at the game last night between the Thunder and the Celtics, the Thunder won because, number one, we were more physical. Number two, we came out at the very beginning and took the crowd out of the game. Number three, SGA was aggressive from the very beginning, because when he is, and he's doing his thing, which he normally is not, he normally lets everybody gets into the flow. It's about 5-minute mark. J-Dub goes out. Then he does his thing. I want him to come out, get us going, let him know that we're there. And, where he scores, 12, 13, 14 points by the end of the first quarter. I like it when he does that, because that relaxes the rest of our team, because we don't have playmakers. We have guys who make plays. And when you have guys who make plays, they don't have to feel the pressure of trying to do something out of what they're comfortable of doing. It's like Aaron Wiggins. As I've said before, why I wish Dagnall would have did what he's doing with Aaron 2 years ago, when we're all screaming for him to play more, and he wouldn't play him, screaming, because he's playing Baisley and he's playing Poku and all the nonsense. Those guys couldn't play. We knew that in 5 minutes. Why are they out here? Kick them out. Get them out here. They can't play. But when you have a developmental coach, he's about developing players. So now, kick it to the full steam. When I look at the Thunder and I look at where we are and what we are able to accomplish, our team is built on one thing. That's the ability to beat you up and throw bodies at you until we eventually break you down and you make mistakes, and then SGA goes boom, 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 Dort goes boom, 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 and it's over. Or Caruso, or J-Dub, or Chet, or Ihart, or Kaysen, or Wiggins, whatever. But that's what happens. The game will be close. All of a sudden, fourth quarter, we'll go bam, 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 hit you in the mouth with a couple of defensive plays. Dort will hit a three, SJ will hit a three, or whatever, get us going, and it's over. And then, of course, we are the number one free throw shooting team in the country, in the association, in the NBA. Of course, last night we didn't shoot that well, but that's what we do. We close you out at the line. And my biggest fear, and I've been saying this, was about Ihart, because he was shooting 65%. It worried me the teams were going to foul him. He went 3 for 4 last night. Looked really good, comfortable shooting. I'm like, okay, cool. If he's doing that, I'm golden with him being on the court. Because I'm going to say this, with Coach Dagnall last night, doing what he did, going with the two bigs, okay, at the start the second quarter. I really like that because remember we started small with SGA Kaysen. For those of y'all who didn't see the game, we started a small lineup: SGA Kaysen, Dort, and Chet, and that's how we and Wiggins. I'm sorry, SGA Kaysen, Wiggins, Chet, and Dort. That's how we started the game. I did not start. He started the second quarter. But what I liked about what I saw is that we started small. We were matching their intensity as far as the 3-point line, and they were throwing up threes. First quarter, they shot 22 threes. They didn't make one bucket in the first half that wasn't a three in the first quarter. Of their first 38 shots of the first half, 30 of them were threes. Now, of course, they corrected that the second half because, put it like this, they shot 38 threes, they made 30, and the score was, at halftime, was 63-60. They made 30 threes in the first half, and they still were losing. I mean, they took 30 threes. I'm scared. They shot 30 threes. Shot 30 threes. And we're still up on them. So what they did the second half, they attacked the basket more and then went 5 for 27 or something like that the second half. But what you saw was the Thunder is ability to play defense, number one. Number two, SGA doing what he does. Chet stepping up and becoming more, because remember, this was Chet's third game in 5 days. Now he's playing back-to-back. We were wondering when Chet was going to start playing back-to-back, and he played a back-to-back against Denver, did not play well, but it was his first back-to-back. But you can see him slowly getting his legs under him, slowly getting his legs under him. And then once that happens, then your lineup is going to be ugly. But we still have an issue, and a lot of people get mad at me and say, oh, Matt, you need to be. I said, listen, guys, I'm not a Thunder hater. What I'm trying to explain to you all, get your head out the sand and go, okay, what is our weaknesses? How do we fix those in order to win 4 out of 7 games 4 times? That's what I'm saying. Here are our weaknesses. Let's fix this. Let's not sugarcoat it going over here. We know what our weaknesses are. We know what our strengths are. Let's play to those. Let's not sit SJ for 7 minutes like last night. They said, well, SJ only set for 5 minutes. He sat for 7 minutes. Second quarter. Now, of course, he came in with 10 minutes to go or 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, which he should have came in when they put Jason Tatum in at the 10-minute mark. But once again, what does he do? Opposing team puts their best player in. He puts in Dort. Let me counteract our best defensive against their best player. No, you put in their best. They put in their best player. We put in our best player. Oh, that's right. Think J-Dub is your best player, so you're gonna leave J-Dub in the game, and it cost us 3 times against the Mavericks, twice against the Warriors. And what worries me is that we play those teams. They understand how he does. They know he's gonna sit SGA for those 2 minutes too long, and they're gonna take advantage of it. It's like last night. We're up 95-90. They bring Jason Tatum in the game. He doesn't bring SGA in the game. He brings Dort in the game. A minute and 10 seconds later, boom, he has a call timeout, bring SGA in the game. He scores 95-95. Just like that. Bro, what are you doing? They bring their best player in the game. We bring in SGA to counteract. Because every team we play in the league, if we bring SGA in early, they put in their best player. Every time, because that's what you do. Dagnall does not do that. Because he has a system, he has a philosophy, the way he does things, and it's going to get us beat. He has to change that dynamic about himself. Get over yourself, bro. We're trying to win the chip. We're not developing players. That's over with. We're trying to win now. Go back to next year, in the beginning of the year, doing our developmental stuff. We're trying to win. Don't sit SJ for 7 minutes. If he's got to play 41 minutes, okay. He's 26 years old. What are you going to wear down? This is the end of the year. We've got, 16 games left? I mean, what do you want? What are we, 54-12? I like our team, and I like what we did last night. So here are the stats from the game last night. 118-112. We're 54-12. They're 47-19. The Celtics were 20 of 63. That's just insane. 63 threes. We shot 37. We were 13 of 37. We shot 48% from the field. They shot 43. 41 rebounds to our 44. We out rebounded them, and of course now they didn't have Porzingis, so let's not get all excited and whatever. Come on now, we gotta worry about that. I mean, they didn't have Porzingis, so it's not gonna be the same team, even though we beat them with Porzingis and without him. 36 to 44 in pips, points in the paint. That's my stat. 13 turnovers. There are 12. Both of us took care of the basketball game. Both of us took care of the basketball, and we both did about what we did. 34 to 20. Our bench outscored them, and of course we have a bench. They don't. That makes all the difference. And then, of course, here are the overall game stats. And the thing that bothered me, we shot 71% from the free throw line. Now remember, guys, we shoot 82%. We shot 71 from the free throw line. Chet missed 3 free throws. Chet 4 for 7. Dort 0 for 2. Now these are abnormal stuff. Okay, Chet is not going. He's going to be normally 5 for 7, 6 for 7. Okay, normally. Dort's going to be 2 for 2, 1 for 2 at worst. Kendrick Williams is normally 3 for 4. He's 2 for 4. And of course, Ihart 3 for 4. Love that. Isaiah Joe 3 for 3. He got fouled on a 3-point attempt last night. And Jaylen Brown was sitting there, or who, I forget who it was sitting there screaming about, bro, you hit him on the arm. What are you talking about? So when you look at our numbers, the only thing that I can see that I was really bothered me last night was the free throw shooting. That was it. Other than that, Chet 23 and 15, nice. And remember, Ihart, he had 11 and 6. It's going to be hard for him to get more rebounds because you got Chet in there. And Chet's going to be cleaning up because he's going to be taking a big guy. Chet's going to be coming on the outside. Aaron Wiggins struggled 0 for 9, 0 for 4, and he's going to struggle against good teams because, as I said on the show last night on After the Storm, our OKC Thunder postgame show, is that it's going to be harder for Aaron when he's playing against guys who are just as good as he is or better than he is, instead of guys who are not quite as good as he is or maybe just as good as he is but play on a weak team. So it's a different scheme. It's a different bunch of players. It's a different lineup, so it's going to be harder for him to do what he does against weaker teams, which, of course, we've known that. So, but anyway, he scored 0 points, but he's still a +8. 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He did play better defense, which I don't mind. I'd rather Aaron Wiggins not score any points and play excellent defense against Jason Tatum, against Jaylen Brown, against Derek White, against Drew Holiday, and against Pritchard. I'd much rather him do that than score 25 points. Because defense travels, as I've said multiple times. Defense travels. Offense does not travel. Defense travels. Lou Dort played good last night. He hit some threes early, got us going. He hit a big 3 late. But 12 shots, I don't want him shooting that many times. I just don't. I want him shooting about 7 or 8 times max. Much as I want Lou Dort shooting. But made some big shots for us, 4 rebounds. K. Rich, he played good last night. Didn't play against Denver in that back-to-back game. But I thought K. Rich gave us some good minutes. He's playing really good at the 4, which is his position. I thought K. Rich did good. Ihart is just Ihart. I like me some Ihart. I like him. Isaiah Joe, 25 minutes. He had a big 3 for us, but he still bothers me on the defensive end. Everybody attacks him because when he's out there, he's the weakest link that we have. Now, if he's making threes, like to me, 2 for 6, I want you 3 for 6, 4 for 6. If you're 4 for 6, I don't mind you giving up what you're going to give on the defensive side of basketball because what you're giving me offensively. You're freeing Shea up. You're freeing Chet up. You're freeing J-Dub up. You're freeing Kaysen up. You're freeing Dort up. You're freeing K-Rich up. You're freeing Ihart up. You're doing way more to open up what we can do so what you're lacking on the defensive side, it doesn't hurt us as bad when you're doing it. So that's kind of how I look at Isaiah Joe. I like him, but, it is what it is. So, the Thunder now in our first 4 games were 3-1, which is about where I figured we'd be 2-2 and 3-1. 3-1 at best because I figured we'd lose at least to the Nuggets or the Celtics. So I'm perfectly good with us being 3-1 in our first 4 games, which is really ugly. Okay, it was an ugly 4 games. Now we have the Pistons on Saturday. You can't sleep on them. They're really a good basketball team. Then of course we owe the Bucks. And they want us back to, of course, on Sunday, 8 o'clock game on ESPN. So that's going to be another ESPN game. And we're 17 Where we're 14-4 is what we are. 14-4 on TV this year. 24-7 on the road. 14-4 on TV. Remember, we were terrible on the road last year. So on TV games, that is. We were terrible on TV games last year, and we're 14-4 this year. So love what we're doing right now. Then, of course, we have the Sixers at home on Wednesday, and then the Hornets at home on Friday, and then we go to the Clippers and then to the Kings after that. So what after that, what really makes me nervous is because our games after that, here are our last 10 games, guys. Okay? Our last 10 games are the Grizzlies at home, the Pacers at home, the Bulls at home, the Pistons at home. So that's our 5-game home streak to start out at the end of March. So we should go 5-0 right there. 5-0, let's do that as home games. Then we go to the Rockets. Then we have the Lakers, Suns. So think about this. Of our last 10 games, we have 7 at home. Last 10, we have 7. Now the question is, because we've already clinched a playoff spot, what do you do? Well, you still got to play your players. I mean, you rest them the last couple games because it's the Jazz and the Pelicans. I believe our last 2 games. So, I mean, I'm not playing them in either one of those games. But it also depends on how far out, because you don't want to give the guys too much rest. Because if you give them too much rest, then that screws up what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, so we don't want to give them too much rest, but we do want to give them a break. But we don't want a 10-day break or a 12-day break in between series, because it's going to make us rusty. And game 1 is the game that if another team has been playing and they come play you, that's the game that they normally get a chance to steal. So you want to be able to protect your home court by winning that first game. And I don't want us to sit too long where we get a little bit of rust. I'm not worried about SGA, but I'm worried about Wiggins. I'm worried about J-Dub. I'm worried about Chet. Now, the beautiful thing about them is this is our second year in the playoffs. Because last year, nobody showed up at SGA. There was no help. And those of y'all that watched it, he had no help last year. Chet was unavailable. J-Dub was unavailable. Wiggins was unavailable. He didn't hardly play. Dort wasn't doing his thing. K-Rich, J-Will, you can just go down the list. He had no help. But he was busting everybody's butt. So that narrative about the free throws and all that, I'm like, miss me with that. He's still busting everybody's butt. He's still scoring 30, and he's shooting 2 less free throws or 3 less free throws a game, but he's still doing what he does. But that being said, we talked about it last night. The commander sent me a text. He doesn't get calls. He gets fouled way more than he doesn't get calls for. Because he could be shooting 14, 16 free throws a game, but they're not going to give him every call. But it's one of those things, kind of like Shaq. Those of y'all that remember Shaq. Shaq would get hit once, no call. Then he'd get a hit again. So it was like every third foul, every third time Shaq got fouled, would they call a foul? Now, he wasn't making his free throws, but the point was, it's like every third foul, he'd get a call. It's kind of like what SJ is almost. He doesn't get every call, even though, like last night, the one guy was griping about the call on Jalen Warren. His hand was on SJ's arm. Now, did SJ raise his arm to get it? Hell yeah, he did. Why are you not going to get a easy foul on one of their best players who put his hand on you? Yes, you're going to do that. Oh, that's right, you're a Celtics fan. And so anytime the Celtics get beat or the Jazz get beat, I'm not upset at all. I'm not going to bother me one single bit. This much. That's how much it bothers me, this much. Anyway, love what I saw last night. So let's go ahead and thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit those guys up over at SRB. They are fantastic. If you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, they'll be more than happy to come in and take care of you and make sure that you have clean drinking water. As we always say, who the hell does not like clean drinking water? Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hey, hit our guys up over there. They love to take care of you and get you all squared away. And then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. The Equal Housing Lender, member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses, which we will be tomorrow and starting next week. I got some new equipment. That's what I've been doing the last couple of days, is getting some new stuff, new lighting, fixing up, getting me a new tripod, fixing all that up, and we're going to be ready to roll next week and go to different locations. I think we're going to be in 3 or 4 locations next week, so I'm excited about that. But But anyway, you can go into one of their 5 locations. Oh, excuse me. You can qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or go into one of their 5 locations. The main bank at 401M, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YMB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YMB Parkway, Garth Brooks, and just south of I-40 on Garth Brooks right there. And then, of course, right in front of the hospital. And then, of course, YMB Peoples, located on 23rd in Bethany between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. If you haven't smelled Creed cologne or perfume, dude, you need to. Just saying. That stuff is fantastic. And what they told me, they go, hey, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. And that's what we do. If you're a man and you got a beautiful significant other that you want to take care of, hey, go in there and pick her out a nice smell. They've got some good smelling perfume, I promise you. And then as a woman, if for your significant other, hey, go get him some cologne. And go see my girl Beth at the Penn Square Mall. Tell her I sent you. She'll hook you up. And then the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa. Of course, those are both the dealer stores, Town East Mall in Wichita, Oak Park Mall, Kansas City, Park Plaza Mall in Little Rock, Arkansas, South Park Mall and South Plains Mall in Lubbock, and then Westgate Mall. Both of those are out in West Texas. I'm not a West Texas guy, but if you're a West Texas guy, hey, go on after a West Texas girl. Hey, go hang out there. It's no big deal. My boy Rashawn, what's up? Those NBA standings 2-8 are going to change 2-8. Wolves helped killing that Jokic MVP noise. They put it on him last night, didn't they? I mean, but I'm gonna say this: Rashawn last night or the other night, that was a back-to-back, and after we pumped him in the mouth the way we did, we didn't look overly. I mean, SJ he took 21 less shots on Monday night. He wasn't. He was like, we busted them. They know we know where we're at on that. So, but NBA standings, which is what Rashawn was talking about to all you guys. Here are the latest updated standings last night. The Thunder now 54-12, winners of 1. The Grizzlies jumped all the way from 4 to 2. They've won 4 in a row. Nuggets lost 1, Lakers lost 2, especially since LeBron's been hurt. And I saw Paul Pierce talking about, oh, well, the Wolves, the Lakers, they can afford to lose some so they can get down. The last thing you want, if you're the Lakers, why would you want to face the Nuggets or Thunder right off the bat? I mean, come on. Or if you're the 4-5 and they think they can beat the Rockets. The Rockets are young and athletic. Come on now. Then if it's said the way it is, you have to play the Rockets if you're the Lakers. Then you got to turn around and you got to come to Oklahoma City and play us. Now, what he was basically saying is that Oklahoma City's young, and I'm over that young nonsense. And as I said, I've been watching this team for 4 years and watching us develop. When Josh got there and SGA developed that chemistry, you could see that it was a different team. Then we went on a little run, and when they were double teaming, Josh was just killing them at the top of the key. Whenever they tried to trap SGA, he was just wearing them out. The next year we get J-Dub. We win 40 games. The next year, Chet comes back, and we get Chet and J-Dub. We win 57. And then here's the fourth year since then. And to me, it's like we're young in age, but that's it. Because what have we done? How have we won? How have we done this? Like the commander and I were talking about along with Mark Long. We've been talking about this for 4 years. Dude, we play great defense, and SGA closes the door on the opponent in the fourth quarter. We get stops based on our defense, and this has been doing for 4 years. And all these people who have been all of a sudden got all these podcasts and talk about the Thunder and act like, dude, where the hell were you when we were losing? Because all the stuff you're saying now is nonsense because you aren't watching them develop from 4 years ago to where they are now. And I'm talking about after the COVID deal and after all that. I'm talking about the last 4 years. When we got Josh the first year, and SGA and him developed that chemistry, and we started busting people in the mouth. Then we got J-Dub, Chet was out. Then we started busting people in the mouth. Then last year we got Chet back, and we really hit people in the mouth. And now you're coming back. So, and the commander and myself and Mark, we talked about this 2 years ago. We wanted the Thunder in the playoffs 2 years ago, but they didn't want to do that because they were too busy trying to get Wemby. They wanted to get in the chance to get in that. We're like, man, come on. Let's get in the playoffs. Forget him. We got a squad. Now he would have been nice with us, but you got a chance to come in and you get a chance to get in the playoffs and you get a chance to get a feel for it. Then last year would have been our second year in the playoffs. So we'd have been used to all that was with that. And then this year would be our third year instead of our second. So, Rashawn, OKC might help the Warriors get to 3 with those late Laker games on schedule. Yeah, Rashawn, when you look at this schedule, we played the Lakers 2 more times. We played the Grizzlies once or twice. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up. I now just had the schedule up here. Okay. We played the Grizzlies one more time. We play the Lakers twice. We play the Rockets one more time, and we play the Suns one more time. So really, we play the Lakers twice. We played the Suns. Excuse me. We played the Grizzlies once. So if our next few games, we play the Clippers too, of course. So that's where you're looking at, Rashawn. Play the Lakers twice, and they could move up. You're right. They could move up based on what that schedule is right there. So good call, Rashawn. Good call. But I'll just say, when I look at the schedule, though, and I'm looking at what's going on, the Thunder are sitting good, except that I want the Nuggets and the Lakers in the 2-3 position because I want them to beat the hell out of each other in the semifinals. Because the finals of the Western Conference, I want those two to knock the hell out of each other. Then we play the winner of that. And I want us to have the Rockets as the 4th seed, or the Rockets and Grizzlies go at each other. And us play the winner of that series, which I believe would be the Rockets, because I believe we can beat either one of those. So that's how I look at it, and that's how I would rather see it. But, Paul Pierce was talking about how the Lakers, can serve, slide down to 5 or 6. They don't want the Warriors. And the Warriors have the easiest schedule of them all, and they're on a 5-game winning streak. The T-Wolves is a team that you worry about because the way it stands now, let's say we'd play the Clippers. The Grizzlies would have the T-Wolves. The T-Wolves would beat the Grizzlies. The Nuggets would have the Warriors, and then the Lakers would have the Rockets. And my issue with that is then all of a sudden we're playing a fresh LeBron in the second round, in the semifinals. I want LeBron in the second or third spot so that they play each other. I want the Nuggets and the Lakers in the second and third spot. Doesn't matter which one is second, which one's third. It's irrelevant to me. But I want those two teams in the second and third spot because I want them beating the hell out of each other to get to us. Because I can promise you, if like I said the other night, if the Lakers are 2 spot, they have to play the Wolves. That's a 6-7 game series. The Wolves, they're gonna physically beat each other up. Then they turn around and have to play the Nuggets in a 6 or 7 game series. They're gonna beat the hell out of each other. Then they got us. Well, by that time, we're still young, we're still fresh. We've already taken care of our team. We're not gonna be that beat up. And then we go in and we play them. And then we have those two guys because there's no way they're going to be able to play 7 games, Denver or the Lakers, because of the simple fact that they've had 2 tough series before they play us. That's why it's so imperative to me that they play each other. So when we play the Grizzlies, we have to beat the Grizzlies. To me, I want the Grizzlies to slide. I want the Lakers and the Nuggets in the 2-3 spot. I don't care if the Nuggets are 2, the Lakers are 2, 3. I don't care, but I want those two in the 2 and 3 spot. That's where I want those two guys. But so that's my issue with that, Rashawn. I don't want them 6 or 7. Okay, I said if they're 6 or 7, they have to play each other. True. But I want them going against the number 2 or 3 seed. And the Warriors, everybody goes, oh, with Jimmy Butler, I'm not worried about them 4 games. They're not going to beat us 4 times. Are they going to have a couple games where Steph does and he does that? Yeah. But with our depth and the way we play defense, I'm not worried about that, Rashawn. Are you worried about the Warriors? I'm not really worried about them. I'm just not. I mean, I know they got, playoff Jimmy and all that, but it just doesn't bother me as much, I guess, as it should. And then when you look at our boy SGA, the MVP, I mean, he was on national TV and he busted up for 40 against the Nuggets. Then he turns around and we played the Celtics on national TV and he busts them up. I don't know what he's got to do. 63 20-point games, 41 30-point plus 20-plus games, 30-plus games, 11 40-plus games, 4 50-plus games. He's got more 50-point games than everybody combined in the NBA. 50-point games. More than anybody else. More combined. And plus, as I said last night, he is the only player, and Jokic is the only player in the top three in scoring, rebounds, and assists. Okay. But what does SGA do that Jokic doesn't? Play defense. That's the difference between the two. And SGA is the only player that is offense and defensive rating in the NBA. The only guy in the top in offensive and defensive ratings. He's the only one. So to me, yeah, Jokic is going to do what he does offensively, but what's he doing defensively? Nothing. And SGA is the only guy in the NBA ranked in the offensive and defensive ratings. The only one. Warriors, yes, they look very good as a team. They play completely different. Yes, they do now with Jimmy Butler. I agree with Sean, but are you really worried about them? I mean, beating us 4 times. Now, they did beat us twice. 2 out of 3 times this year, yes. But 4 times in the playoffs, I don't see it. And where they beat us at is Dagnall sitting SGA and getting them rolling. And if he does that again, we're going to get beat. If he counts on leaving J-Dub in the game, putting SGA on the game, sitting in for those 2 minutes, those extra 2 minutes, second quarter, we're going to get beat. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. So I'm sitting there looking at it, but, my thing is this. It's not like he doesn't know. But like last night, coach, they put in Jason Tatum at the 10-minute mark. You have a 5-point lead. You put in Dort. Okay. Minute 10 seconds left. Game tied. Minute 10 seconds passed. They put in their best player. We put in our best player. And I said this earlier, Rashawn, on the show when I first came on. Dude, our best player is not J-Dub. In your mind, yes. But in everybody else's mind, no. They put in their best player. You put in your best player. He did that Monday night against Jokic. They put Jokic in the starting team in there. He left SJ on the bench for 2 minutes. They went on a run. He does it every time. It's like, bro, get over your minutes managing. They put in their best player, you put in your best player, because every single team, if you put in SGA early, they put in their best player. Or 2 of their best players. Because it's really 2 against 1, depending on who the team is. It takes 2 of their best players to equal our best player, SGA. But Dagnall is set on, I'm going to do it my way. Well, you're going to get us beat again if you don't change your ways. You have to get over yourself. We're not developing players anymore. We're now in the point of how do we win the chip? And as Stephen A. Smith said, which I disagree with him of his analogy of Sam Presti, I believe that we're trying to win a chip. I don't think Sam Presti is saying, I want to stay relevant. I don't believe that. I believe that the Thunder want to win a chip. Who the hell doesn't want to be down at Sizzletail Park with that championship trophy, our first one ever? Who the hell doesn't want that? Now, we did have a discussion, Rashawn. I don't know if you were on the show last night in our chat. But we had a discussion last night about Russell getting a statue and him being the best player versus us bringing KD back. And my thought process is the best player Oklahoma City's ever had is KD without question. Now, the Thunder fans, the ones who don't know what the hell they're talking about, they love, he stayed, so who cares? We didn't win nothing with him, and he stayed because nobody else wanted his ass. And then we did trade him to Houston. Then he went to Washington the next after that. Then went to the Lakers, and then after that went to the Clippers, and then after that went to Denver. Because everybody saw what we've been seeing all day. He ain't the dude. He ain't the guy. He's not gonna win you a chip. He's just not. He's not smart enough. Does he play hard? 100%. He give you a 1,000-point effort? 100%. But does he understand the game? No, he doesn't. Which is not a knock on him because there's a lot of guys who aren't basketball smart. Westbrook. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Rashawn. We're talking about Westbrook getting a trophy or getting a statue. And I'm like, no. And he goes, "Was our all-time leader in steals, all-time leader in rebounds, all-time leader in points." And I'm like, "Well, SGA will pass him in points because SGA got to 10,000 points quicker than anybody else, and plus, quicker than them." And then you look at Westbrook stats, and you look at him having 60. I think it's 60 straight now, 20-point games. 60 straight 20-point games. And him having a chance to break Kevin Durant's record in Oklahoma City. Or maybe because I think Kevin's at 74 or whatever. But the record, when I looked at the over record, Will Chamberlain 126. Wow, 124, whatever it was. That's crazy. That's like what is that? I don't know how many year and a half getting 20 points every game. But I don't see anybody stopping SGA getting 20 unless he gets hurt or he has a bad game or something. He has to get hurt. Let me see. Rashawn, that's why I fear the Warriors. They have 3 players with high basketball IQs and a coach. Yes, they do. I agree, but my thing is this: if Dagnall does the way he's supposed to coach, and he doesn't sit SGA to play J-Dub, and he takes J-Dub out in the fourth quarter for just a couple minutes, because we go on a run every time he's on the bench for those 2 minutes so sit him out a couple minutes. We're going to run at 5. When he takes him out the 5-minute mark in the first quarter, quit sitting him until the 2-minute mark. Take him out with 5 minutes like you always do. Let SJ run the last 5 minutes. Bring him back in. Let SJ sit for 5 minutes in the first quarter, second quarter. Bring him back in and let him go to the last 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Third quarter comes. Take that J-Dub out at the 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Let SJ run it through. Bring SJ back, 6-minute 47 mark. Sit J-Dub for a couple minutes. Bring him back in at the 4-minute mark. We're gonna be tough to beat if he keeps that pattern. Take him out 5 minutes though, because he's been leaving him in there to 2 minutes to go. Dude, what are you doing? Oh, we're on national TV. Then he plays J-Dub more minutes than SGA. How? How do you put those two on the same level? They're not Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. J-Dub ain't even close to being on the same level as SGA. On no circumstances, no way, no how, no place. No way. Celtics coach didn't do them favors. Mark was doing his same routine. Yeah, he was. But what he did is, in the fourth quarter, when he didn't put SGA in the same time he put J-Dub in, he put JT in, what happened? Minute 10's like, oh, timeout, SGA get in the game. Well, coach, when you see them do that, do that. But the Celtics did not take advantage of it. And a lot of it had to do with the lineups that Dagnall had in there. And I got to give Dagnall his props. And what he's doing, going with the 2 bigs, Ryan Hart and Chet. Because we were still covering out on the wings, but we were beating the hell out of them inside. Beating the hell out of them. So I'm going to give Coach Dagnall his credit for what he did there by playing those bigs, and that made a huge difference. But I agree with you, Rashawn. The Celtics coach didn't understand, because and I said this last night on the show. They only played us twice. They don't know us. They barely double teamed SGA, and I can promise you, the Nuggets are going to double team SGA. The Lakers are going to double team SGA. The Timberwolves are going to double team SGA. The Grizzlies are going to double team SGA. The Rockets are going to double team SGA and get the ball out of his hands. They're going to do that to teams in the West because they're used to playing us. And they also know that they're going to have a 2-minute window where Dagnall is going to sit SGA for 2 extra minutes, so they know they have a window to make up some points and make up ground. They know that. That's why it's going to be tougher for us to get out of the West because of that something. Because it's different when you're watching it on TV or you're watching film versus actually playing against it and understanding how he coaches. So getting out of the West is going to be a lot tougher than beating the Celtics or beating the Cavaliers. And also the thing is about the Cavaliers, they've been healthy all year pretty much. We missed Chet for 39, 40 games. We missed J-Dub now. What's the second game or whatever? We missed him for 2 games or whatever. We missed iHeart for 6 games, 7 games. Caruso for 10 games. So we've been beat up and missing players all year long, but yet we're 54-12. because SJ's missed one game. That's the difference. Our team, the Thunder team, and what we have, if he does what he's supposed to do, nobody's going to beat us. Because, as I've said before, when SGA starts rolling, our team relaxes. Once our team relaxes, we are practically unbeatable because of the simple fact they have no answer for him. And then all of a sudden, Dort's knocking down threes. Wiggins is knocking down threes. Chet's knocking down threes. Ihart's making passes. Ihart's getting alley-oops. Joe's knocking down threes. Case is knocking down threes. Caruso's knocking down threes. We're D'ing everybody up, getting hands in the passing lane, getting turnovers, getting a fast break. Because what do we talk about? Steals, turnovers, long rebounds equal transitional baskets, which equal flow of the game. That's the Thunder's key. That's what the Thunder has to do. And that's what the Thunder needs to do. Now, here are updated numbers as far as the Thunder. What is our stats? This is where we are. We're now number 2, and I need to find out who number 1 is. Rashawn, good point. OKC still building that chemistry with 2 bigs. While Cavs are solidified. Yes, they have. They've been solidifying those 2 bigs over the past couple of years. They have. And we're going to get there. Points. Thunder are 4th, 119. Remember, we're number 1 since the All-Star break. 107 points a game, which puts us at number 2 in the standings. As far as give up shots, and that's because we're scoring more. So if you score more, you're going to do what? You're going to give up more points. Okay? Let me see. Since the All-Star break, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're 9-2 since the All-Star break. That's what we are, 9-2. That's pretty good. Doing what we're doing. 3-point percentage, we're number 1. Field goal percentage, we're number 1 at 51.6, which is what we give up. 3-point percentage, we're number 1. And remember, we're going against the number 1 3-point shooting team in the country, in the NBA last night. And we pretty much shut them down. Free throw percentage, like I said, 82.5 is what we shoot, and we shot 71 last night. We've got to make free throws. We've got to make free throws, especially down the stretch, because teams are going to foul us and we have a lead. Assists, 24.4, which means that we only give teams, allow them, that's 4th in the league, on the association, whatever you want to call it. Pips, points in the paint, we're 1st. 42.7, we lock up the lane. So we're locking up the lane, and we're doing what? We're locking you up on the 3-point line, which the Celtics, they were missing shots, but we weren't giving them any shots. We weren't giving them good looks. We were making them earn everything last night, which is the difference in what happened. Let me see. Steals, we're 1st, and stealing the ball 10.6. We're number 1 as far as only allowing 6.6. So in other words, we take care of the basketball, as you see. Turnovers 11.6. That's number 1. Blocks, we're 4th, and we would have been higher than that had we had Chet all year long. There's no question. Between him, SGA, J-Dub, we're blocking shots like crazy. Ihart. Turnovers, 11.6. And we turned the opposing team over 17.2. And then, of course, in the second quarter, scoring 30.3. And then in the fourth quarter, giving up only 25.7. Those are the things that made the difference between what the Thunder are doing this year and what we have going on. And so remember, we play again Saturday night against the Detroit Pistons in Detroit. Our guy, Cade Cunningham, is OSU guy. They're going to be coming at us, and the Thunder are really going to have to stand up and do some things for that. That game really, really worries me. So that being said, hey, everybody have a fantastic day out there. Enjoy your day. Go have fun. I know I've got some things I've got to get done today, and I'm getting ready to go do those right now. So that being said, hey, Thunder